After his stopover in Berlin, where he met the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Prime Minister Modi will today visit Denmark's capital Copenhagen as part of his three-day, three-nation tour of Europe. Prime Minister Modi's tour of Germany, Denmark and France comes in the backdrop of the raging Ukraine conflict that has united much of Europe against Moscow. Prime Minister Modi's visit to Denmark comes as a special invitation from his Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen. Notably, this will be the Prime Minister Modi's first visit to Denmark, but his third summit-level interaction with Frederiksen. Now, according to reports, the discussions between both leaders will primarily focus on bilaterals. Both sides will also discuss emerging regional and international issues concerning both countries. Prime Minister Modi and Frederiksen will later interact with the business leaders of both countries under the India-Denmark Business Forum. Along with holding key bilaterals with Danish leadership, Prime Minister Modi will also take part in the second edition of the India-Nordic Summit that is being hosted by Denmark this year. The summit, which will take place on the 4th of May, will bring in all the Nordic states on the same stage. The summit will focus on subjects like post-pandemic economic recovery, climate change, innovation, technology and renewable energy. The Prime Minister is also scheduled to hold bilateral meetings with Nordic leaders on the sidelines of the summit to review the progress in India's relations with them. The summit comes at a time when India continues to strengthen ties with all the Nordic nations of Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland and Iceland, which have reported increased trade with India in recent years and spreading Indian diaspora. Prime Minister Modi's three-day, three-nation tour marks his first foreign visit this year. This trip will see him holding 25 meetings with 8 world leaders, around 50 global business moguls and hundreds of Indian diaspora members, all in a span of just 65 hours. And for more on this, joining us live on this broadcast is Ambassador Gurjit Singh, who is the former Indian envoy to Germany. Ambassador Gurjit, good to see you and welcome to WION.
Thank you, Eric.
Well, India says the substance of this partnership with Denmark has many significant pillars that include a green strategic partnership. Why is India keen on renewable energy and green growth sustainability with Europe?
You know, Eric, actually, for some years, the relationship with Denmark was a big red flag. And there were so many problems and the relationship was going nowhere. It is to the credit of the Indian government, they got around many of those problems and reinvigorated this relationship. Now, Denmark is a green powerhouse, particularly for renewable energy. And therefore, that being the great complementarity that India requires it, Denmark has it, we are coming together. So this is one of the new developments that India's European policy, that we have looked at working with Denmark closely, and today we have a rather successful partnership, and Denmark is one of our most important technology and investment partners in Europe, despite its small size. The second part is that out of the 5 Nordic countries, 3 of them are charter NATO members, and 2, Sweden and Finland, are now about to join NATO. The beauty of this relationship with the Nordics is that we don't care what group they are a member of or not. And I think neither now do they. So it is now a purely practical partnership. Over many years, the Nordics had this sanctimonious habit of ticking India off on its social aspects at times. I think that has come to an end because today India's established democratic norms in the Indian way, and our big market is a big draw. And if you are going to meet climate goals and the SDGs, you have to work with India, and India has to work with the Nordics.
Actually, since you've pointed that out, India is the only country apart from the US with whom the Nordic countries have summit-level meetings. What agenda does India have in cooperating with countries like Denmark, Finland, Iceland and Sweden, like you mentioned?
Well, I think you look at it at 2 levels. The first level is the global agenda, which largely is climate and SDGs, both of which thanks to the pandemic and inadequate financing, that the world is falling back on. Now, yesterday in Germany, they announced 10 billion euros of additional financing. So India is looking to the Nordics and other countries to live up to their promise of new and additional financing for the green economy. The second aspect is the trade and technology. You know, many of these Nordic countries, though they have niche products, they are very big investors in those. And the Norwegians have a huge sovereign fund which invests overseas. So I think in dealing with ESG financing, in impact investing, in SDG related investing, in logistics, we have a great amount of hope in both technology transfers and investments from the Nordic countries. And finally, you know, today we are seeking a multipolar world. We don't want a unipolar or bipolar world, or neither we want a cold or hot war. In this, the Nordics are good European partners to supplement the India-EU partnership, which is essentially seeking reform multilateralism for a better multipolar world.
Well, it's always good to talk to you, Ambassador Gurjit Singh. Thank you very much for your insights and for talking to WION today.
Thank you, Eric.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.